Alrighty guys, I'm here with Retreeb, the ethical payment solutions, a new decentralized way to pay, simple, practical, economical, which allows you to act in accordance with the universal values of ethics, sharing, and solidarity. So they're basically a payment solution platform that has a huge emphasis on ethics and universal values, right? So a portion of all the fees that they generate is going to be donated towards humanitarian causes. Yeah, this is their slogan here. Build a better future for everyone with payments. Retreeb is the first distributed payment solution that shares 1/3 of its network fees to funding social and solidarity projects. Launched in 2019, our mission is to build a payment ecosystem that creates the conditions for a better distribution of value, but without additional fees to consumers. So they're basically trying to make this platform as ethically friendly as possible while keeping the cost to consumers less. So their user proposition is using Retreeb, your transactional costs are actually cheaper and you're actually helping society, right? We'll flip onto their white paper and I'll just read their abstract to give you a brief overview of what they're about in just a little more detail. So what benefit does the payment industry bring to our society? Central to the financial flow, this sector is a hyper-growth market estimated to be worth thousands of billions of euros. New actors are launching themselves every year to take their share of an increasingly large market without any of them being ready to question the rules. However, if one looks at the consumer side, one observes a real awareness and a change in consumption patterns. This desire to consume more ethically and more responsibly is not taken into account by the traditional actors of payment. Paying is a daily act that creates value. It is timely to include a responsible dimension, so that this value is better distributed and also contributes to meeting our societal challenges. The time has come to question the market and through it the Visa MasterCard duopoly that has become almost invisible since it is so integrated into our consumer chain. Is it not time to have a new way of looking at payment? With Retreeb, we rethink payment to make this act at the heart of economic exchanges, a responsible act. We developed the first payment method that captures the value produced by the money circulation to better redistribute some of the surplus and earmark it for the funding of social and environmental projects. So yeah, as I mentioned, Visa and MasterCard are the ones who control this industry, but there is a lot of scope for other entrants to make money, right? Especially with the induction of DeFi and crypto coming into the mainstream. And there is a stark change in culture as well, where people are being more responsible, more ethical. The rise of the vegans and anti-meat and anti-cruelty to animals and all the things that are happening around the world with COVID, with oppression, with genocide, with governments taking over. The focus on responsible and ethical and being ethical in your day-to-day life is peaking at this moment, right? So these guys coming in and they're giving us a solution where we can use their platform, have cheaper fees, and actually help the global environment. So I like what they're doing. I like their proposition. So let's have a look at their pitch deck because the white paper is a bit long, so we can go through this pretty quick. So we mentioned all of that. So yeah, the Retreeb solution is a disintermediated means of payment that is free of an interbank commissions. Through its economic model as well as its technical infrastructure, we are opting for unprecedented transparency in a particularly opaque sector. Finally, we approach payment by placing corporate social and environmental responsibility, CSR, at the heart of our business model. So this is the competition, pretty stacked towards MasterCard and Visa. But every day there's new people coming in, right? And I don't think any of these guys are as ethically oriented as Retreeb is. So this is how it works, their business model. It charges merchants 1.5% network fee, and 2/3 of it goes to Retreeb and 1/3 of it gets donated. I believe for each payment made on the network, Retreeb charges the merchant fees from 0.9% to 1.5% that are lower than those charged on the market and with no fixed fees. This is a very attractive source of savings for the merchant. 1/3 of this income is donated by Retreeb to the social project selected by the user. This economic model is not based on any direct financial contribution from the user. It is only Retreeb that chooses to donate 1/3 of its revenues. Even as a business owner and a merchant, right? If you can actually get cheaper transactional fees and also help the environment and the community out, it just doesn't make sense why you wouldn't, right? So it seems like a no-brainer if I was running a business. So the way their business actually operates, our tokens Retreeb are multi-local stablecoins which are distributed by a currency zone and are not subject to any form of speculation. Established as a currency mask, they are backed by the user's currency. 1 fiat equals 1 Retreeb. There is therefore no conversion effort. They are never in competition with the monetary sovereignty of states. The balance between the tokens in circulation and fiat's liquid assets is always perfectly balanced. Entirely controlled at transmission, KYC, as well as at use, KYB, know your business, via a verification of the acceptance network. Retreeb cannot be exchanged between users or via exchanges. Controlled from end to end, the flow is protected from any risk of laundering. Secure and rooted in usage, Retreeb is a payroll network that presents the perfect arguments for building the trust needed for adoption. So Cell, the technology used by a network, is a DAG chain and centralized governance and distributed computing. So this way they control the network and they control the ethical nature of the business. So they have two assets in this ecosystem. They got the stablecoin and they got their governance token, which is Retreeb. The Retreeb is a multi-local stablecoin that circulates one way between the consumer and the retailer. The retailer stacks Retreeb for a max of 72 hours before they are burnt, and the corresponding fiat balance sent to the retailer by bank transfer after deduction of the Retreeb fees. The Retreeb is a governance token utility for the Retreeb community. It has a fixed offer and a variable value. Its main role concerns governance in the selection of CSR projects for funding. The system uses a proof of stake mechanism to select validators to participate in these governance decisions. Yeah, so if you hold the utility token, you basically choose the environmental or community-driven charity projects that Retreeb would invest in, or send their funds into, and you've got your stablecoin where you deposit funds into the protocol or into the app, and it instantly converts it to the local stablecoin that is used in app. So their app is pretty user friendly. I'll link the YouTube video. They have a YouTube channel. I'm the second person subscribed to it. It shows you just a brief overview of that. I won't play it in this video, but it's a pretty nice introduction to what they are and how the app works. So yeah, they got the QR code usability. The app is already up and running, I'm pretty sure as well. So we will develop local use cases at the level of neighborhoods, towns, or regions, like mobile phone operators for fiber optics. We will limit the number of users in these areas and ensure that we have a sufficient acceptance network. Users will be able to use the service and prescribe it to their relatives, who will then be placed on a waiting list. These LUCs, local use cases, will be the center of Retreeb's viral propagation. So basically what this means is that they are going to have total control over who is going to be utilizing Retreeb, and they're going to roll it out slowly so that their platform does not get overloaded. So they'll be picking off the merchants who they believe probably share their own mission statement and their own values of being ethical and having that kind of mindset. And they'll slowly be rolling it out until it gains massive acceptance. So they have a pretty dope looking card that they're going to be using as well. They are pretty aware of risk and regulations revolving around payment platforms that do transact internationally. So there's a lot of KYC and KYB stuff that is needed to be in place to protect the merchant and the retailer and the platform as well against money laundering. So yeah, these guys are pretty on top of it. They have their licenses here. They got their ACPR BDF approval. And they've got their flow monitoring for the anti-money laundering. And it looks like they've pretty much got most of their stuff covered. I'm not very well versed in what the risks and regulations exactly are, but it seems like they know what they're doing. Which brings me to the team. So Jeremy Lepetit is the CEO. We've got Saya El Yatim, the CTO, Stephanie Fletcher, the CMO, and Quentin Lepetit, the CDO. I wonder if these two guys are brothers. Probably. But yeah, looking at Jeremy's LinkedIn, This guy is stacked. He's got a pretty strong background in marketing and blockchain. I think he was a professor of blockchain, still is. Worked in Make Me Viral, not sure what that is. Was a founder of Make Me Stats, which looks like it was a data-based marketing project. Looks like they sell software and yeah, it seems like they've done a bunch of things. Oh, here we go, CEO of Social Marketing Strategist. So he seems like he's got a pretty strong background in marketing, as well as blockchain. So having a team that's legit in that regard is always pretty bullish. Like, look at how many people are in the team, man. What's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 13, 17. Bunch of advisors. Oliver Jolet is the Senior Vice President at Viacom CBS. For those of you who don't know Viacom CBS, they are one of the biggest media companies on earth, right? And Viacom owns a whole heap of stuff. So the fact that they have Oliver Jolet as an advisor on the team is pretty damn bullish. So like these guys' marketing is their marketing is not going to be an issue whatsoever. And we all know that marketing can make or break decent, good projects. So the fact that these guys have such a strong background, with the CEO himself being a pretty gun marketer with tons of experience, and Oliver Jolet as well as an advisor. I'm not going to go into the rest of the team because the video is already pretty long. But yeah, I had a look at these guys before, and everyone is pretty well versed. Everyone is pretty well experienced, and just the fact that this project has such a strong core and such a strong team is always a strong sign, because you can be comfortable having your money parked with these guys who know what they're doing. Also, I forgot to mention that these guys are actually launching on Fantom Network, right? This is an ecosystem that's actually gained a bit of popularity as a layer 2 solution in the last few months. You can see that there's a lot of ETH DeFi plays on Fantom, like Aave, SushiSwap, Cream Curve, tons of these guys. So the fact that they're launching on Fantom exclusively is going to be pretty bullish, because that narrative right now is moving away from Ethereum and looking into other ecosystems like Solana, Cosmos, Atom, Fantom. So yeah, and also Andre Crony, the godfather of DeFi, is a strong proponent of Fantom as well. So, and yeah, that's pretty much Retreeb. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye.